Max was sleeping peacefully. But suddenly, Jimmy dashes past. Max jolts awake, panics, and crash straight into the trash can. Dazed, he peeks out, confused, while Jimmy smirks and disappears into his hole. Max is snoring peacefully on the couch when Jimmy dashes past. Max wakes up, panics, and tumbles off, crashing straight into a trash can. Dazed, he peeks out just in time to see Jimmy smirking before disappearing into his hole. Jimmy ties Max's tail to a skateboard while he sleeps. A loud crash wakes Max, and as he jumps, the skateboard rolls off, sending him zooming across the room. He crashes through furniture, flips over, and lands headfirst in a bucket of blue paint. Jimmy laughs at the Smurf cat. Jimmy sprints across the room, Max chasing full speed. Suddenly, Jimmy stops right in front of a wall. Max can't stop in time. Bam! He slams face first, leaving a cat-shaped imprint. Dizzy, he wobbles backward, steps on a banana peel, and crashes onto the floor. Max sets up a mousetrap with a giant cheese piece hiding nearby. Jimmy suspiciously pokes it with a stick. Click! A hidden mallet swings down but misses Jimmy and smashes Max instead. His flattened body slides down the wall as Jimmy enjoys his cheese. Max places cheese on a pressure plate connected to a bucket of water above. Jimmy carefully replaces the cheese with a rock. Max, impatient, steps forward to check. Splash! The bucket tips over, drenching him. Jimmy waves before scurrying off. Max sets a cage trap with cheese inside. Jimmy, instead of stepping in, uses a spoon to flick the cheese out. Max, losing patience, jumps in himself. Snap! The cage slams shut with him inside. Jimmy, munching the cheese outside, gives a mocking salute. Max turns on a vacuum, aiming it at Jimmy. The powerful suction pulls in everything. Papers, curtains, even a goldfish bowl. Jimmy suddenly flips the hose around. Whoosh! Max is sucked inside. His tail wiggles helplessly before the vacuum shuts off. Max chases Jimmy with a vacuum, sucking up everything in sight. Jimmy dodges and suddenly unplugs the cord. The vacuum stops, and Max spits out socks, a lamp, and a very angry goldfish that slaps him before hopping back into its bowl. Jimmy is cornered as Max aims the vacuum at him. Just as Max turns it on, Jimmy plugs the hose with a marble. Boom! The vacuum backfires, covering Max in a cloud of dust. Now completely blackened, Max sneezes so hard he flies backward into a bookshelf. Max ties a firework to a string, planning to launch it at Jimmy. He lights the fuse, but Jimmy quickly ties the string to Max's tail instead. Max realizes too late. Whoosh! The rocket launches him into the sky, where he explodes in a dazzling firework display. Max straps on rocket-powered roller skates to catch Jimmy faster. He presses the button. Zoom! Out of control, he crashes through furniture, flies out the window and splash. Lands in a swimming pool. Jimmy watches, shaking his head. Max straps a firework to his back, thinking he'll fly after Jimmy. He lights the fuse. Foosh! The rocket explodes, launching him straight through the ceiling. Moments later, a burnt, smoking Max falls back down, headfirst into a trash can. Max swings a giant net, aiming for Jimmy. Jimmy dodges and suddenly stops in front of a mirror. Max sees his own reflection and attacks full force. Smash! The mirror shatters and Max collapses in a heap. Jimmy walks off, whistling. Max grabs a frying